I was going to continue editing the Wii video, but then this situation that's happening in the hair sculpting community um has got my attention, and it's actually made me pretty heated considering how much this affects me as an individual, how it affects me as an artist, and how it affects me as a disabled person, and how it affects the communities that I'm in right now. Like, man, I was going to, like, I'm on break now. Fall semester is done. I'm gonna get so much things done, and this has caught my attention, and it's made me pretty pissed off. So yeah, we're doing another side quest. We're doing another side quest. I mean, this is nothing new. This is typical of an ADHD person. Hello everyone, Amethyst here. For those who are returning, welcome back to another video on my channel. And for those who are new here, welcome. Like I said before, I'm making this video because of the situation that's going on in the hair sculpting community, and I'm pretty upset about what is happening to one of the creators that are involved in this situation. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about my feeling, like talk about the situation, talk about my feelings, why I'm upset, why this affects a lot of people outside, not just in the hair sculpting community, but also outside of it as well. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about it, sharing my feelings on it, and stuff like that. Huge disclaimer and just obligatory, please don't attack, harass, like, anyone that I mention in this video. Please be respectful, or as respectful as you possibly can. I will be pretty harsh in this video, um but I feel like, given the situation, I feel like certain things just need to be said bluntly without being polite or sugar-coated because of the nature of this situation. Also, another disclaimer, I've yet again been getting complaints about my microphone. As I said it before in another video, I am aware that I need a better microphone. I cannot get a desk microphone because of the limited space on my desk. Now, I considered the option of using my phone. I got a suggestion that maybe I should use my phone, but I looked into it, and apparently I have to download yet another program for me to use it as some type of Bluetooth headphones, and the programs that are in use that were recommended are not widely known, or either has issues with viruses in their desktop programs. So unfortunately, until I can figure out a solution, I will still be using my headset for the time being. I'm still in the process of trying to look for a good headset within my budget, but apparently it seems like with the budget that I have, getting a good sounding mic is going to be a little bit difficult. If you have any suggestions on headsets or any like portable microphone that has good quality that isn't like overpriced, please let me know in the comment section. But if you're just gonna come in this video and complain about my microphone, I'm just going to ignore you, because that doesn't help me get a better microphone. I do have a buy me a coffee in the description in case you want to donate, but it's not required. You're not expected to do it. But yeah, so anyway, I'll just get straight on into the video. So there has been an ongoing situation between two creators in the hair sculpting community. One of those creators being She Is a Solar Being, and the instigator or aggressor in the situation being KwiinAva. These two people were in the hair sculpting niche and making like unique hairstyles and hair sculpts and things like that. But KwiinAva has taken it upon herself to continuously harass She Is a Solar Being, which I'm going to just shorten to Solar for convenience purposes. So Solar has been having issues with KwiinAva for about ish years now, and there was like a situation where Solar has addressed in TikTok, I believe.
Being in the same niche does not mean that we are in competition with each other. I wanted to make this serious video because it seems like this is becoming more of an issue, and I just wanted to stop because it's unhealthy, childish, and just not worth anyone's time. But there's another natural hair sculptor that seems threatened by my presence within the natural hair niche. I think it's just because I'm here. Like, I didn't do anything but create videos and actually reach out to them asking if we could collaborate, because I was excited that because the niche is so small that working together is more powerful than being individuals. Like, we could actually collab on a video and break the internet. That's the mindset that I contacted them with. It just seems like they were down at the time, but now I think that was just a facade because the way that they're acting towards me isn't kind. Let me also make it clear that, like, I started hair sculpting based off of inspiration that I took from this 1971 photo that I found on Pinterest. I recreated it and I gave the photo credit. I always do that. I always give everyone that I draw inspo from credit. However, one time I did create a video where I made my hair into butterfly wings, and this same creator commented asking if I've seen them do it before. And I genuinely didn't see them do that butterfly video, but I have seen their work before, and it's awesome. Like, I was excited to collaborate with them and everything. I was like, let's work together. You know, the way that things are now, it seems like, no, they don't want to work with me, and that's fine. And I made another video talking about, like, where I draw my inspo from, which is the past. Like, I actually show pictures that I've looked at, and I'm like, wow, like, we've been doing this forever. Now I'm just doing it my way, you know what I mean? And so someone commented saying, like, how they were trying to explain to this other natural hair sculptor the same thing, that natural hair sculpting has been the thing for forever. And so I was like, oh, like, who are you talking about? And they DM'd me and told me who they were talking about. It's the same person. They said how they made this, like, passive aggressive video talking about, like, oh, if you draw inspo for me, give me credit because I'm, like, I've been doing this. And I didn't watch the video, so I don't know what exactly they said in it, but the shoe did not fit, so I didn't wear it. I was like, I always give people inspo if I draw from their work, you know, so I don't think they're talking about me. But I realized, like, maybe they do have a problem with me, because today people were tagging me in their videos saying, like, have you seen this? Have you seen this, Solar? And I was like, I didn't even get a chance to answer, but they took it upon themselves to answer for me. And this is what they said. So I think it's kind of interesting that they would respond like that, because not only is it not true, but it just shows that it's like an ego problem. I don't mean to say this in a way to offend this person if they do see it, but, like, it seems like there is a huge ego involved, because not only is that just not true, but it seems like you're trying to twist it to make it seem like I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it weren't for you, which is just not true. Okay, and it seems like you don't want to share the space, and I just want to say that I'm in my own lane and you're in your own lane. What you do is awesome. You do all this stuff that I personally am not interested in. Like, I don't cosplay. I don't do art with my the scraps of my hair, which is really unique to you. I don't do that. I focus on hairstyles that people could replicate themselves. And I focus on, like, hair care. I'm doing hair sculptures that are, like, for formal events, the workplace, just, like, redefining what natural hair could look like in these settings. That's what I focus on. So we're not competing against each other. And please don't try to lie on me and make it seem like, oh, she's here because of me, and because of me, I'm the original hair sculptor artist. Like, no one's taking that title away from you. I don't want to take that title away from you. I don't even want it. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to passive aggressively shoot shots at me and act as if, like, oh, I only exist because of you, yada, 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 and this and the other. Like, we're not going to do that. No one's taking anything away from you. Please don't be threatened by me. I'm just out here doing my own thing. You do your thing, and just let's leave it at that. Please stop trying to pin other creators against each other, because that's not cool. I'm here for a greater purpose than that.
So she was saying that she wasn't in competition with KwiinAva. She was saying that she was inspired by her, and that she would also be happy to collab with her, but KwiinAva wasn't having it, which Solar was fine with. But KwiinAva just decided to keep escalating the situation, that resulted in DMCA takedowns, copyright strikes on Solar's YouTube channel, and a cease and desist and a federal lawsuit. So Solar wanted to create a way to make hair sculpting more accessible and easy, for those who may not have the resources or the skill or the time. And she launched a Kickstarter for these Afro 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 hair extensions. Like in the video, she said she was marketing it towards parents and towards children. But I'm also seeing how this could be helpful for people who also don't have the skill, the time, and for those with disabilities.
Around late 2023, I went viral for recreating a natural hair sculpt that I saw from a photo that was taken back in 1971. Natural hair sculpting has been a thing way before the 70s as well. It's older than all of us. So ever since then, I've continued the practice, and then I ran into a few problems that I wanted to solve, like how can I save time doing hair sculpting. I also wanted to make the practice more accessible for the children specifically. It's really important to me that the children see the beauty in their natural hair textures early, and I know that even if their parents were able to sculpt their hair, it may not last all day, or it's not something that they could just practice all the time. It doesn't last. It's a high maintenance practice, and so that's why I came up with the Solar Being sculpted hair extensions.
So she wanted to create these extensions to make it accessible for more people. But when she launched her Kickstarter campaign, once it was finished and they reached their goal, she ran into false DMCA takedowns.
Crowdfunding platforms allows everyone to file a DMCA takedown, even if the claim is false. And when a DMCA is filed, Kickstarter is legally, along with other platforms as well, they're legally required to freeze your campaign immediately until you appeal it, and then they review it. So in the middle of trying to raise funds and promote your work, you're dealing with a very real possibility of someone filing a false DMCA claim on your campaign, shutting it down overnight. And that's exactly what happened to us. DMCA stands for the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's a US law that was passed in 1998 to control how copyright works on the internet. So basically, anyone can say, I own this copyrighted content, someone posted my work without my permission, please remove it. And here's the part most people don't understand. The entire system relies on claims, not proof. So on the same day that our Kickstarter completed, on May 12th of this year, 2025, I received an email. It was from Kickstarter, and it was telling me that a DMCA takedown request was filed. And as they usually do, they send you the claims that were submitted, and this is what was said in the letter. My client is the original creator and brand owner of a distinctive visual identity centered on Afro hair designs styled into unique shapes such as hearts, stars, and flowers. This aesthetic is a signature of their content. They're saying that these shapes are their signature, and therefore anyone else who creates these similar shapes is copying their aesthetic.
Yeah, that's essentially one of the issues that Solar has been dealing with ever since she launched her campaign. And with the false DMC takedown, for KwiinAva to claim that the shapes that were listed in that clip that I just posted were associated with her, that's bullshit. Because having your hair split in half, put up and have in a puffs or buns or anything like that, that's a basic ass hairstyle. I've seen a lot of people say that they were making these hairstyles since they were children. This isn't a unique design. This is not original. Okay, this does not give you a unique silhouette. I understand if they were trying to if there was more pieces to these designs, or if they or have a specific if it's not just the stars, or there's other pieces to it, kind of 𝗟𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 kind of heart-shaped hairdo that she has. I understand if there's a complete a different shape or different it's not just the shape, it's not just the basic shape, right? There has to be more elements to it. The composition matters. But these two these puffs, it doesn't even have to be the two puffs on the top of your head. Like Solar has done, like where like the back of her head is a star. Like other people have done so as well. And you know, I will get to this later, but there's also other like characters that have like these types of generic shapes in their head. Like I will talk about Steven Universe and stuff like that later. But you know, for KwiinAva to just come out here, like not only was she like beefing with Solar before all this for no goddamn reason, she also thought it would be such a great idea to like freeze her Kickstarter campaign right as it was done. Like I don't even understand why they decided to do it after it was done. Why not once the Kickstarter launched? Because her movements in this whole thing, like KwiinAva's movements within this whole thing, just screams of jealousy and pettiness and ego, just low vibrations all around. And she's saying that she's doing it to protect her art, which I will critique her arguments that she says later, and I'll include other clips from other creators as I go through this video and tell why that argument is absolute shit doo-doo butter. But it like, you can't own a hairstyle. You may own the videos and the pictures of yourself, but you do not own that hairstyle yourself. And I will talk about this again when I get to the clips, but you can understand why like I am just really annoyed at this, because I've been saying this in videos on my channel for before, where I have issues of people within the black space gatekeeping hairstyles. You know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'll say it a million times till I die, right? There are biracial people that exist that have our hair texture. There are people who are born into biracial families, okay, who get introduced to our black culture. It's not helpful to be gatekeeping like this, especially because like, and also crucifying people who decide to wear these hairstyles because you don't know their family dynamic, you don't know what their heritage is, you don't know what circumstances that led them to embrace their black culture. As long as they're not using our hairstyles and making racist jokes and racist stereotypes out of them, you should not be screaming and hollering. And I mean this for the white people who are speaking for us and for the black people as well. You should not be hollering. As long as the person in question isn't being racist with the hairstyles, I don't want to be hearing no bullshit, no complaints whatsoever.
So immediately we file a counterclaim. The entity doesn't have a product. They're arguing about the hairstyles that they made with the hair on their own head. So within a few days, Kickstarter got back to us, reviewed the situation, and eventually released our funds because essentially they freezed our funds, so we couldn't get it in time. So there was a delay. But after we were able to receive the funds, we carried on as normal. But then literally a few days later, we received another email, and it was in the form of a cease and desist letter. This was on May 15th of 2025. Here were their list of demands. We must insist that you immediately remove or disable access to all social media content that contains references or promotes sculptural hair designs that are confusingly similar to signature styles, including but not limited to the star, heart, butterfly, and flower shapes, or other trademarks or trade dress used by, or that otherwise appropriate their likeness, as well as cease and desist from producing, marketing, or selling any hair extensions.
And that's like, the fact that they are continuing this after the fact is so bullshit. And in the cease and desist letter, right? And like in the cease and desist letter, it says to remove or disable all access to social media content that contains references or promotes sculptural hair designs that are confusingly similar to KwiinAva's signature styles, which is the star, heart, butterfly, and flower shapes. This is extremely dangerous because anybody, regardless of if you're an artist or if you're in the same niche as Solar and KwiinAva, or if you're into cosplay or making a costume design, like this could affect a lot of people outside. Like, this is exactly the reason why this is going to affect a lot of people out of this space, because if you're an artist and you want to make you want to design your character's hair in a similar style to like a similar style that includes hair puffs, like star puffs, heart puffs, flower puffs, or anything that matter. If this lawsuit that KwiinAva is filed goes through and is ruled in her favor, this could affect a lot of people, which is completely dangerous and is completely annoying. And I'll get to my experiences with my hair and my art when I get to it, because I will get to it. I'm just trying to go in order here of the clips that I have harvested. All right, but this is the type of gatekeeping that fucking pisses me off, right? The type of hoarding gatekeeping that really doesn't help the Black community, that doesn't help the Black diaspora. Okay, KwiinAva claims that she's trying to protect our culture, but the way that she's going about it, that doesn't scream protecting our Black culture. This doesn't scream, you know, making sure that this practice is like done in a respectful way. No, she's specifically targeting Solar, right? Because she's jealous of her, because she's jealous of Solar being in the space and being popular in the space. Like, you'll see as I go like show more clips from the other videos that I have gathered in like later in this video, right? And I'll say this more again, but I'll say it now. Like, the only reason why gatekeeping a hairstyle would be alright if this hairstyle is associated with a spiritual religious practice that is closed. All right, if this hairstyle is like used in a specific culture, that would make sense in that specific culture, in that specific setting, right? Because I've heard that there were specific hairstyles in certain Black cultures that signify your rank or your class, like within the culture. So I would understand why that would make sense. Like, if there was like somebody in the space that recreated like a sacred hairstyle that's used for like a leader in like a tribe or in like a society or something like that, or signifies like a role in that society, right? And there's like somebody else and they're like kind of like doing it for the aesthetic, or they're like doing it and they're mocking it, like, yeah, I would accept gatekeeping in that sense, because there's nothing wrong with gatekeeping. It's just the way that you go about it that determines whether or not it is the problem, right? And the way that KwiinAva is going about it, it's like a problem, because this is not even an original design. This is a fucking generic shape. And she talks about this later in her own video, because like KwiinAva posted a video on her YouTube, and her reasoning, like, she addresses this, but I'm going to explain why the reasoning she gave is bullshit also, but I'll get to that when I get to it. But like, it's just completely infuriating when this shit happens in the spaces that I am, where there's like issues regarding hairstyle and stuff like that. Like, why is we as a Black diaspora, why is we as a people, as us Black people, have to be acting in this manner? Like, the fact that we're like, there are people in the space who are just trying to segregate people from wearing certain hairstyles. Oh, if you're white, you can't wear braids, you can't wear like weave or extensions and stuff like that. First of all, like, again, there are biracial people exist. There's biracial people who are raised, like, there are white people that are raised in Black households or in Black neighborhoods. Like, I don't know if I said this already in another video, but like, I'll say this again. Like, there was like this one white braider who was braiding like people's hair, and she was getting attacked for it. But the thing is, she was raised in a black neighborhood. She was around black people, and those black people taught her how to braid hair. So that's why she does it. She found it enjoyable, she found it fun, and she wanted to do it. So like, you do not understand the circumstances that brought somebody to this area of space, you know? And I also saw like recently of a story of like Nigerian couple who had a white baby, and she had straight hair and everything, right? Like, my first like thought was that maybe she was like albino, because, you know, albino people exist. Like, this is also harmful to albino people too, because if you look white, people will say, oh, you're white, you can't wear this hairstyle, even though she's albino and she's black.
I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course I get asked if I can dye my hair. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course I get asked what I'm mixed with, even though I've told you I'm not mixed. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course you want to see what my mom and dad looks like. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course you'll think the person you saw last week with albinism is related to me. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course you're going to turn away after I caught you staring confusingly. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course I get asked if I'm really black. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course you're going to think I went to your school in Nebraska, even though I've never been to Nebraska. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course I get asked what box dye I use to get this hair color. I'm a black woman with albinism. Of course I have more than one bottle of sunscreen. Which one you want?
Well, like, going back to the Nigerian couple, like, what's gonna happen to that baby when she's grown up in Nigerian culture? She wants to mimic or like participate in the culture, and one day she's old enough, she's on social media, and she wants to share her experiences all night, and then people are attacking her just because of her skin color. This is the same bullshit that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these other activists fought for. They wanted to create a space that is equal for both African Americans and the white people. This is not what they wanted. Y'all, this is not what they wanted. Cause like, what happened to that poor girl when she wants to, like, what if she wants to get into hair sculpting, but because she doesn't have the hair texture, she wants to do her own thing and make it accessible for white people who are born or introduced to like African households, and they're a part of it and they're accepted into their communities. And if they shared it online, and she tries to share her experiences, and she gets a lot of hate for that, like what's gonna happen to that poor girl? Like, I'm praying for that poor girl because of the way the internet and society is, and how she's going to be treated better than her siblings or her parents simply because of the color of her skin and because she's white passing. Like, these types of segregated like thinking hurts everybody in this space. Like, y'all do not understand. Like, this, like, I'm sorry I'm getting so passionate, but this is this type of thinking that makes me so goddamn angry, because people just do not want to think about the nuances.
A few months later, on October 20th, my YouTube received 2 copyright strikes. If you don't know, you really have 3 chances. On October 21st, on 2025, another DMCA notice on my Kickstarter campaign was filed. They say, quote, "Their sculptures and the photographs and video recordings of these sculptures constitute original works of authorship fixed in a tangible medium of expression, subject to protection under the Copyright Act." Now let's talk about that last part right there. So basically what they're saying in the first part is that because they took videos and photos of their hairstyles, that is protected under copyright. And that is indeed true. Anytime you take a picture or a video, that is automatically protected under copyright law. That's because a photo or a video is considered fixed. However, it's important to realize that no, I did not use any photos of theirs. But here's the most questionable part that they mentioned. They said that the sculptures, aka the hairstyles, are original works of authorship fixed in a tangible medium of expression, but a hairstyle itself is not considered fixed. And here's why. A hairstyle can be washed out, it can be brushed out, it can change the next day. It's not permanent. It's not a preserved object. It does not stay the same. So even if you record a hairstyle, the only thing that becomes protected or is considered fixed, like I said before, is the video or photo, not the hairstyle shown in the recording. So I just want to make this really clear. Just because we say hair sculpting, calling it a sculpture doesn't change what it is. The method is hairstyling and the result is still a hairstyle. So now the infringement part is where it gets really interesting, because this is when the tables really turn. She's a Solar Being has willfully created and distributed replicas, imitations, and unauthorized derivative works of sculptures, misappropriating creative expression and goodwill, and has commercially exploited products derived from their original works through online platforms to their detriment. So here they're basically saying that I make copies of their hair by making hair extensions.
And I'm just like just reading, like looking back at these clips and like having Solar read out like the text that was shown in the cease and desist and these false DMC takedowns, it really pisses me the fuck off. Imitations, fucking imitations. Like, are you kidding me? So the issue is that if you make replicas of this basic ass hairstyle or derivative works, so like things that are inspired by this hairstyle, you can be in trouble. And like I can't, like I just like I said before, this is the issue that doesn't just, this is why I said that this issue doesn't just this isn't contained in just the hair sculpting community. This could affect artists. Like, not only is it affecting art, like is it affecting like parents and children, because like the whole reason why Solar made these extensions is to make it more accessible to people, right? Not only does it fuck over the parents, not only does it fuck over the people, not only does it fuck over Solar because she's the one directly targeted in this situation, right? But it also affects other people who do not have the skill to shape their hair or the time to shape their hair for their own, to use on their own head. It also fucks over the people in the cosplay community. It also fucks other people in the costume making community. It also fucks over people who are in the art community who making shows, you know, like Rebecca Sugar and Steven Universe, and then KwiinAva, who is making Pretty Please I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. Like, she's in the process of making her show. Like, and not only that, but this also affects people who have disabilities, right? Now, going to my lived experiences with my disability and my own hair, I've already mentioned this in a previous video, like in edit and text, but I was recently diagnosed with ADHD and autism, right? And with ADHD and autism, right, like the unique way that they blend for me and how that creates issues and how I'm learning about myself and how I'm trying to navigate through those issues. You know, with ADHD, like, I don't have the hyperactive type, I have the inattentive type, meaning I have trouble paying attention, it's hard for me to focus. Sometimes I have hyper focus on other things, and you know, combine that with my autism, you get like these interesting blends of like hyper focus, right? The other thing with ADHD is just motivation to do things, and how that applies to my hair, because I, like, for the longest time I absolutely hated my hair, and this is reflected in my art. From the first art piece that I've ever uploaded onto DeviantArt, like this was like 2016 or so or something like that. It was like a pretty long time. I drew myself with long straight hair, and for the longest time that was what I would draw my characters in. You know, these long silky, long curly hair, you know, like the white people have, or like straight buns, you know, like the white people have. Like, rarely, I don't think at all really you've seen me draw my characters in like black 4C authentic African hair. And because I really didn't like my hair, like it was a kind of reflected in my art. I didn't see my hair as beautiful. I saw these white long, the long beautiful hair that these white people have. Like, I saw that was beautiful, and I wanted to, like, you know, in the cool hairstyles that I would see other shows like have them in, I wanted that to be reflected in my art. So I would draw my characters these white in these white like hairstyles, right? And it was only until recently that I decided that I was really going to try and start loving my hair. I tried, you know, taking quizzes about what my hair and what it is, and I found out that I have like medium density hair that has a high porosity. So I've tried buying products that would work well with my hair. I tried, you know, hydrating my hair often using certain oils. I've been following Big Head Justice and other creators in this space, trying to figure out like what they do with their hair and stuff like that. And recently I kind of watched a video by actually Julie, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but she kind of posted a video kind of like reacting to like another video talking about like mothers and how they take care of their daughter's hair. And also I think another video, I don't know if it's by the same creator or like by, you know, like how black men take care of their hair versus black women, and it's kind of interesting. I'll probably link all those videos in the description below. But I wanted to try and start embracing my hair more often and like making my hair look pretty and making myself love my hair, right? But the problem with all of these hair processes that I've been seeing online, it's a step A through Z process. And when you have someone with ADHD, if you have a task that requires a lot of mental effort, you kind of procrastinate and delay doing that task. And that is what happens with me. I don't like doing my hair often, is because either I have to spend close to $200 to get my hair braided or done if I don't have the means to, if I don't have the spoons to do it myself, right? Or I have to sit there long hours by myself doing these hairstyles. And with ADHD, like just having all that mental effort just to do your hair, like it causes me not to really do it often, right? And the other issue with my disabilities and doing my hair is the coordination issues that come with the diagnosis, right? Because with ADHD and with autism, there's like balancing issues, there's coordination issues that can come along with it. It's not always the case, but there's like a strong correlation with it. And I've always seen myself as like a clumsy person, and I thought that it was just me being weird, but in reality it was due to like just the way my brain was structured. And how does this have to do with hair? Well, a lot. In order to do your hair, you have to manipulate your hair in such a way to get the style that you desired. And yes, and doing that requires you to hold your hair in one place, or hold your hair and then brush your hair with one hand and hold it with the other hand. And sometimes I have a coordination of a toddler, and because of the weird way that I hold things, I end up holding things like I feel like my muscles would actually have to overcompensate. And that's kind of part of the issues that I have with my hypermobility, because I had issues with my arm and my wrist and like pain in my wrist because of my hypermobility. And then you have combine that with the weird coordination issues that I have. I feel like my muscles are just like overcompensating and overworking. I end up having pain if I'm not holding things in a way that's comfortable or something like that. So if I'm doing my hair and I'm holding my hair and I'm brushing it, yes, there's clips to hold like another section of my hair, but the two hands that I'm using to brush out the current section, I would have pain. My hands would hurt. Like it would become a frustrating and painful process, right? And so it would often cause me to just leave my hair out in a puff, because I wouldn't have the spoons or the strength to just comb my hair out neatly. And I've learned from another video that I don't even need to be detangling my hair out so much, because that's what's causing a lot of breakage, right? I should be really at most doing like at least doing it like once a week. You know, I shouldn't be like at the most once a week. Like I shouldn't be manipulating my hair so often. And you know, learning the way to take care of my hair and how to like work with it due to like my disabilities is like super eye-opening. But with people with disabilities, it's super difficult for us to have the same accessibility for things as you able-bodied people do. So for Solar to come out and create this Kickstarter, not only is it helpful for the mothers and the parents and the children, but this is also really helpful for like people with disabilities, right? Like imagine or for people with short hair too, because like imagine you do not have the hair or the mobility to like do your hair. You know, people who have chronic pain, who can't not be using their hands so much, and you know, and straightening their hands so much. Like these extensions could be, you know, useful for those who can't do their hair the way that these hair sculptures are doing it, you know? And I think these hair puffs are like really good because it gives us a way for us to have fun with our hair without having to spend hours or the mental energy or to risk us having like pain flare-ups because of our disabilities. Like this is really, really good. But to have that accessibility suddenly stripped away simply because of a jealous woman, like it's really, really, really frustrating because us people who are disabled, we're not listened to most of the time. It's extremely hard for us to advocate for more accessibility options, right? And you know, in KwiinAva's videos, she says that she respects people who are using extensions or like using extensions and stuff like that, or people who have disabilities or having hair loss. You know, like she says, like she honors them and stuff like that.
For the people that deal with hair loss or medical conditions, your experiences are valid and they are honored. I understand that extensions can be a lifeline for confidence and support. I'm also not bashing women who wear regular extensions. In my time in cosmetology school, I worked alongside nail techs, lash techs, makeup artists, braiders, other hair sculptors, and I respect every last one of those things that I listed as genuine forms of art and profession. And no shade, you guys thinking that I'm envious over the hair extension idea is a little ridiculous to me.
But earlier in the same fucking video, not even that earlier, like if you go back a couple minutes, she says that she doesn't like people using like selling fake hair plastic extensions because and make it accessible to people who are not white because it damages our culture and stuff like that.
There's a profound difference between our real hair, our coils, curls, the history, and plastic extensions shaped to resemble it. Presenting that imitation as Afro hair and offering it to anyone regardless of their race isn't respecting Black culture. It reduces something sacred to a commodity.
Like I already explained the reason why this type of thinking is harmful for biracial people, right? But not only you said that you respect these people who use these extensions, yet you throw shade at the people, especially the Black-owned people who are providing these extensions, right? So what about all these various Black-owned creators who are providing extensions to those people, you know, right? Either people, like there's some creators who use like natural hair extensions, but what about those who use plant-based extensions? Or maybe their extensions are plastic, but they don't have those harmful chemicals. Like, what about those people? What about those Black-owned people? You just disrespected a whole plethora of people within the community who provide these extensions to the masses. And these people don't kind of over moderate who gets to buy their products. They make these extensions accessible to anybody too. So are you going to throw shade and disrespect those people simply because they're making their extensions accessible to those who need them?
She claims she's doing it for the culture though.
What 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 and the entire Sculpted Hair series are deeply rooted in Black cultural expression and my own lived experience. Because of that, I'm not comfortable with my art or anything derived from my work being marketed to a non-Black audience. I've seen comments where non-Black people are joking about purchasing these 𝗧𝗶𝗺s, and this is the exact dynamic that I don't want associated with my art or my brand. This is not what my work represents, and this is not aligned with my mission or values. I made it clear that she's willing to sell these Afro texture pieces to anyone, and that's her choice. But since the 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀 are directly related to me and my brand, I don't support this direction.
What do you mean derived from your work? It's not your art or brand, it's detachable star afro puffs. What do you mean? You didn't create star afros. How do you also dictate whom another person can sell their products to? If you don't want to sell to non-black people when you create star detachable puffs, you can choose not to. You can follow up obsessively on every order and make sure that your product doesn't find its way into a white person's home. Let's see how quickly you grow tired of that. But how are you obsessed because another black woman is selling a product to whomever wants them? And let's be so for real. I know black women wear these non-black women's hairs as wigs every day of their lives, but please go outside. Please be so for real. How many white women do you see with 4C extensions? Do you really think white women will be out here wearing detachable afro pops on an everyday life on their straight hairs? You're not even considering the nuance of white moms with biracial kids or adopted black kids. You just outrightly reject the notion of solar, not outrightly rejecting sales from non-black people. I think that's weird.
IP protection was never about stopping people from sculpting their hair. Sculpting is cultural, sculpting is ours. It belongs to us as a community.
She says she trademarked to keep non-black people from exploiting and stealing from black culture, but she's actively making it hard for another black woman to exist within that same space.
I'm pretty sure y'all can understand why that's so bullshit and why that's not fair to a lot of people within the space and who want to get into the space, right? I have a sibling, right? I have a sibling who was born to an African American man, you know, my dad, and a Mexican mom, my stepmom, and her hair is a mix of white and kind of kinky curly. Like, if you don't like brush out her hair and stuff like that, it gets like kind of like kinky and curly and knotted, kind of like our hair, but it's still like silky and smooth, like if you brush it out like her mom's hair, right? And my stepmom has put in extensions in like my sister's hair, and she's actually put in braids in my hair once, and I really like the result too. Like, you're so concerned about the white people, but what about the Mexican people? What about the Korean people who want to learn how to do their biracial girls' hair, you know, their biracial children's hair? What about those people, right? What about those people? I feel like you are just giving a complete F you and a complete middle finger to everybody in the space, and that's why I keep reiterating why this type of issue is harmful for a lot of people. I can also imagine like these hair extensions like being used in like magical practice, right? I had an idea, like, as I was thinking and forming my thoughts over this situation, like, what if you had like these heart puffs or these flower puffs or these star puffs, and you're like a magical practitioner or you do tarot, right? What if you want to bless these hair extensions and you want to use them if you're using specific spells, or if you're just doing spell work in general, or if you want to do glamour magic or hair magic onto yourself or to somebody else? Like, I can see how these hair extensions could be used for magical practices, right? You cannot own a generic ass you cannot own a generic ass shape. Your design is not unique enough. There are people who have done these designs before. There are people who have cosplayed as Steven Universe characters or making cosplays inspired by Steven Universe characters. You know, Steven Universe's styles have had unique hair shapes. You know, Spinel at one point had the kind of half and then heart puff-ish kind of hairstyle, you know? Are you gonna come after these creators? Are you gonna come after like Rebecca Sugar? Are you gonna come after KwiinAva for their shows that they use these specific hairstyles on? Are you gonna come after Disney because I believe one of their Star Wars characters, Princess Leia, I think that's how you pronounce it, has like this hairstyle that is coined like heart, like star puffs? Like, I don't know if the community gave it to them. I don't know if the creators at Disney has described their hairstyle, but for them to like try to claim the hairstyle, and also they went ahead to file claim like trademarks over the names of these hairstyles. Like, not only is she trying, like KwiinAva trying to own these hairstyles, but she's trying to own the names for these hairstyles, these generic descriptors that would be obvious to search on Google or to that is obvious to describe these hairstyles. Like, what kind of bullshit? Like, I'll link. Solar has these like files linked in her original video, but I'll also link them in my video as well. But these things are public. Like, if you can see the hairstyles that she's trying to trademark and trying to claim as their own, like, she's not trying to use the 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. She's also trying to use the shape of like the star for the whole head or the heart for the whole head and stuff like that. These generic hairstyles can be made by anybody who has hair, you know, because what if a white person, you know, wants to do something weird with their hair and they use like extensions and wire to shape their hair into what they want? Are you gonna come after the white creator? Are you gonna come after the cosplayers who want to cosplay their character who has a hairstyle that's similar to the ones in the pictures that you listed in your trademark application? Are you gonna come after the costume designers who want to use these hairstyles for their characters or the costumes that they want to create? Like, this is so bullshit. Like, I just can't understand. Like all the, are you gonna come after all of the artists on Pinterest or all the artists on Deviant or Instagram or on these other art sites that have these types of hair shapes in their own hair, regardless of what hair type they have? Are you gonna come after them? This is hugely going to be a huge fuck you to all the creatives and all the people, other people outside of the creators in this space. I just feel like I'm going to tag KwiinAva and Rebecca Sugar in my video description, and I encourage everybody to let them know what is happening, because if this lawsuit favors KwiinAva, this could affect their shows and their livelihoods, or any people who is into character design. Like, I'm just so annoyed and so just pissed off. Like, it's just ridiculous how they are going about this whole thing.
The idea of turning my hair into a star was inspired by Pixie Book's viral photo from Pinterest, and also KwiinAva, who wore it for the natural hair show. So when I thought about how I'd style my star to fit my face, I thought of adding a frizzy bang where the bangs part would be where the crown would sit. I'm Solar, and I think that having the ability to make cool shapes like this is a part of why having natural hair is such a gift, and I think we should start showing it more often.
Like, Solar says that she isn't just inspired by KwiinAva, she's also inspired by other people within the space. Are you gonna come after the other people in the space who came before you that made these exact shapes? Like, what about the other people who came before you? You're fucking them over too. You're fucking them over too. People draw inspiration from people all the time. And the fact that you're trying to say, oh, even though you gave credit, that doesn't mean that you have a permission. And yeah, that's all right. And like, as like without context, like, yeah, like depending on the work being used, like, I understand. But considering like the hairstyle she's trying to, you know, trademark and like try to own themselves, like, it's really stupid, because people take inspiration from other people all the time. It should be a problem when they're taking direct, like, copying it one for one, word for word, right? Like, Minecraft was inspired by 𝗏𝗏miner, right? HAIRSTYLE is currently inspired by Minecraft, right? You know, baloney was inspired by Cube World. You have all these songs out there on the market who are inspired by other songs. Like, a lot of rap came from African reggae. Magician's Quest has been inspired by Animal Crossing. Pokemon has been inspired by other games or other franchises, right? People take inspiration from things all the time, right? And it's ridiculous, because currently with Nintendo and the whole Pokemon lawsuit between Paw World. Like, the US Patent Office is reevaluating Nintendo's patent because of like the generics of it, like the nature of the patent. And I think in Japan, like, their application got rejected. So Nintendo's trying to own generic game mechanics, and people are mad over it in the community. Like, people, like the offices that they're trying to like submit these applications to, they're suspicious of it. They're either rejecting it or reevaluating it. I believe that a few years ago, about 4 years ago, like, Luke the Notable tried trademarking the 100 Days of Minecraft, and everybody was upset. And at one point, like, Luke the Notable gave an apology saying that his emotions got in the way of what should have been a friendly share of content. So same thing with the hairstyles. It's a friendly share of content. It's a hairstyle. It's a way that you shape your hair. It's not like it's an original design or anything. It's a generic design. And the fact that people have been trying to claim ownership over the most basic things, and they've gotten backlash over it. So you shouldn't be surprised as to why you're trying to trademark a basic ass thing and getting harassed over it. Like, you shouldn't be surprised. People do not like it when you try to hold on tightly to something like this.
But people have been starting their hair for a very long time, especially here in Africa. A lot of what you see your favorite celebrities wear their hair as is actually inspired by our ancestors. One of the first ever hair sculptors I ever watched was this girl that was making objects and people out of her own hair. It was so beautiful.
Here are just a few examples of what I can do with my hair. Animals. Random things like an umbrella or a car. Portraits. Text, like here where I write perfect with my hair because I do believe my hair is perfect. Cartoon. Sunflowers. Fashion accessories. Wings. Even zodiac inspired hairstyle because my raising sign is Scorpio. I'm another astrology freak. Medusa. And even body parts. The process to make the sculpture is actually pretty simple. The idea comes to my head, I do a little sketch, and then I just sculpt using my natural hair, some hair extension, and wire. And I started to receive a lot of messages from Black women around the world telling me that seeing my heart helped them to feel better about their hair, about the blackness. And I realized, okay, actually what I'm doing is pretty powerful. So maybe it can just serve a greater purpose, and I can use it to advocate for change. So I decided to use my hair as a platform to advocate for the equity of sexes.
So instead of like KwiinAva coming together with Solar and to try to, uplift her into the space, she's doing what she can to try and tear her down and to prevent other people from copying her, which is just completely bullshit. And like, in this system where institutionalized racism is still a thing, this is systemic racism that still affects all of us people within the Black diaspora or within the POC communities, right? Instead of, coming together and trying to build each other up, especially in this day and age, like, we are just arguing over stuff that we should be supporting each other on. And it's just completely disheartening. Like, I already said this before, I'll say this a million times in this video, right? Like, we shouldn't, like, this type of form of expression shouldn't be limited, especially when you have people who have been doing it in their childhoods, people who are doing it to express themselves in their characters. Like, in spite, and also because I want to, like, have fun with my hair, I'm gonna put star puffs in my hair. I'll put star puffs in the hair, and I'm gonna put that in my as my profile picture because, as somebody who loves the stars and astrology and the space and stuff like that, I think it would also fit within the new character design that I have. I know I just recently changed this character, but I'm not really happy with how it came out, so I'm redoing it. But yeah, it's just, I'm just completely annoyed at the fact that, this is how KwiinAva is deciding to take everything.
I want to address some of the main comments I saw about this chaos. One of the main ones is, it's just a star, you can't protect a geometric shape. First, my 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗸𝘀 is not a flat geometric star. It has a sculptural form, dimension, and structure. And second, geometric shapes being protected is not new. It's been happening for decades. Just like Macy's protected their red star and the Cowboys protected their blue star, I'm protecting my Afro star. That's my work and my contribution to our culture.
I believe that that argument is bullshit, because the very own picture that she uploaded that she used in her video, it's not just the geometric star the geometric shape alone that makes the brand recognizable. It's the composition. It's how unique the logo, the thing is. And plus, most of these are logos, you know? They're not hairstyles, something that is fixed, like as Solar said in her video. It's not a fixed, the hairstyles are not fixed, right? This is a generic thing, right? With Macy's, oftentimes when you see this red star associated with Macy's, you see the Macy's name along with it. There are red stars that are used in flags or that are used in flags for countries or for organizations, right? The red star alone could mean many things. It's what's the red star next to or surrounded by, the design that it's incorporated that matters, all right? Because the red star, right, it's used in New Zealand, but it's not used alone. It's used with everything else that's in the flag. The red stars is used in the flag of Panama, but it's not just there alone. It's with the rest of the flag. The red star is in all these other like state flags or country flags, or you know, and stuff like that. But it's not just the red star alone, because the red star alone can mean many things, right? With the red star with Macy's, it's with the Macy's logo. So that argument already is falling apart. With Disney's, like the Mickey Mouse shape, right? It's not just circles, random circle, like it's the way that these circles are put together, and that makes it recognizable, right? With I forget the brand of this logo down here, but these rectangles, it's not just a singular rectangle, it's a rectangle arranged in a certain way that makes this brand distinguishable. With Microsoft, it's not just squares, it's squares arranged in a specific shape, as well as colors that make it representable. With Target, it's not just, and with MasterCard, it's not just circles, okay? Their circles are arranged in a specific way with specific colors that make these recognizable, right? And with the Olympics, it's not just circles again, it's just the colors and the way that they're arranged, right? Now you can make that argument with the hairstyle, like the 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀, right? But the problem is, like I said before, people have been doing this before her. It's not an original design. It's a generic design. People have been doing this before her. People have been incorporating these with characters before her. So her original design falls flat because Black people have been doing this for years before her. It's not original. These designs that she's trying to like recreate, they're not original. Like, there are other creators that done the same, like, similar shapes to her, and she's commenting on those creators' posts saying, oh, I did it first. You know, I did these designs first. Like, I believe, like, another creator that I will show clips of in this video, and that I'm linking the description, also mention this. I'll encourage, like, all of y'all go in and watch these videos that I linked in the description below, so that you can get, like, the full story and all of their opinions. But, like, the logo thing just doesn't make any fucking sense in terms of that. Like, all brands make trademark geometric shape. It's not just the geometric shape alone, it's the composition and the color they use, the silhouette, okay, the overall logo and design as overall, you know, that nobody has come up with before. But everybody has come up with 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀, everybody has come up with 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀, because everybody has done that in the black space already, especially people in the cosplay space who have straight hair that are making these designs with their own hair. This is not a unique thing. This is not a fucking unique thing.
I claim that a hairstyle itself is copyrighted. What's copyrighted are the original photographs that I created back in early 2023 and late 2022. And those photos are protected under copyright law. There's a clear pattern of her attaching myself to me and my work. And every time she does it, it blows up. And honestly, at a certain point, it starts to feel like she's trying to step into my destiny instead of creating her own.
Wow, what a wild thing to say.
Yeah. And this is why I mentioned before why it feels like she's just jealous of Solar, because they're saying she's trying to like one up me. Oh, she's trying to come into my destiny. Like, as soon as she becomes popular within the niche, you start coming after her. Like, this isn't a new thing. You've been harassing her and telling lies about her for years now. Like are you fucking kidding me? Like are you fucking kidding me?
No one else is allowed to lay claim or monetize off these specific shapes when it comes to Afro. And that's what doesn't make sense to me. She says it herself.
I simply asked her to stop recreating and selling my artwork, but she chose to make it public and then made hundreds of posts about me, accusing me of anything she thought would stick. Owning a hairstyle is not even logically or legally possible. Intellectual property protection, trade dress, trademark, copyright does not stop everyday people from shaping their hair. The only limitations are posting so incessantly that you're causing brand confusion. It's free to shape their hair into stars, hearts, sushi rolls, it doesn't matter. Please do. I've been dropping tutorials on how to sculpt your hair for years. Since I started my social media journey, I've been putting y'all on game. I do not gatekeep. This is the kind of imitation that causes brand confusion. For the record, we never asked her to take down any of her original hair sculpts. Only the 250 posts that mimicked my artwork.
And that's what is ridiculous. You're saying that you can't own a hairstyle, but you're not saying that you're asking to hold a hairstyle. Yet, this is what, given the evidence that we've shown so far, this is the exact thing that you're doing. You're saying that, oh, we're not asking, you can't own hair sculpting and stuff like that, but in your Instagram bio, you said that you were the original Afro shapeshifter. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. You're saying that, oh, you're not claiming the hairstyles, but that's what you're doing. Oh, you're not saying that I'm the only one who invented hair sculpting, but that's what you're showing in your bio. Like and you're worried about brand confusion. This is not a unique silhouette. This is not a unique thing. This is not unique to you. She's like playing the victim in all of this, saying that she was being attacked and she was being lied to, yet she was doing the same thing to Solar. Like, how is KwiinAva playing the victim when she was the one being the instigator in all of this? And apparently, according to one comment, it seems like she only came back into hair sculpting because of Solar, because she was getting traction. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what I've been seeing in the comments. And she's claiming that Solar is attacking her mother, but that's not true. Like, Solar has addressed her mother, who is the manager of the business that KwiinAva is that she's associated with, right? KwiinAva claims that Solar is attacking her mother, but that's not true. Like, Solar addressed her mother, who's manager, and at least because I believe actually Julie was hoping that KwiinAva was the one making her decisions. It's not her mother, like, trying to control the situation through the shadows. Like, I hope like that's not the case too, but considering how her mother is not showing her face and how she's just reiterating the same points as KwiinAva, I feel like the mother is trying to manipulate the daughter, and it's just kind of sad in the situation. And I also kind of extend the same points over to the mother too, because like the stuff that I said, I would also that also applies, like, because if the mother is agreeing, like, the stuff that I'm saying in this video, that will also apply to the mother. Because how the fuck dare you try to gatekeep a hairstyle? You know, us African people are already fucking oppressed already. Why you gotta make it worse? And it's super annoying because there are people on Facebook who are defending KwiinAva, saying that, oh, she's in the right, but they don't understand the nuances of the situation. They don't understand the nature of this lawsuit. I'm pretty sure they haven't seen, or they don't understand the text that was sent, like the documents themselves that were sent to Solar. Like, it's just these people who just do not understand why this affects everybody and also affects them. So if they wanted to like shape their hair in a similar style, well, tough luck, I guess.
Beginning. This was not just about my products. They took the opportunity to also ask, whatever styles I've done that has like a star in it or a flower shape in it, take those down too, because this is ours. Like, you're confusing the public. Like, these are our designs. That's essentially what they're saying.
I wanted to see if other people were also talking about this. I tried going on her social media platforms to see what she had to say, but her TikTok had been privated and she seems to be deleting a lot of comments on her Instagram. She did post this one video of her seemingly hyping herself up to a rap song with 2 big 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 hairstyle that she now owns, apparently. I also find it interesting that she's running a natural hair sculpting contest on her pages when it seems like she doesn't even like people quote-unquote copying her. I'm not making this up. She does seem to have a problem with this. I say this because I found the IG page of her manager, who is also her mom, and she seems to have several posts up about this issue of trademarking and copywriting and things like that. I also found a foundation which she is affiliated with, saying that the page only follows her and her mother. I believe that the opinions on that page are also approved by KwiinAva. So, this is what one of the posts say. Credit is not protection. Tagging the artist or saying inspired by does not give anyone a free pass to copy. The caption of this post says, only the creator has legal rights and those rights exist automatically upon creation. Credit doesn't give permission, prevent infringement, save someone in court, stop theft, and make copying okay. Once you post your work, it is protected whether or not anyone quote-unquote credits you. So what she's basically saying is whomever posts it first owns it. Now, as of yesterday, which was the first time I saw this post, a comment which is now gone said something along the lines of, does this mean we're not allowed to do styles because other people did it first? And the person behind the page basically responded with something along the lines of, you can, but once you make your entire content around the hairstyle, we will see it as an infringement on our intellectual property.
I know that I'm not the first person to shape their hair ever. Original is in my bio because my art is original. My art style is original. Having original in my bio is not me claiming hair sculpting or claiming to have invented it. I saw a lot of comments saying that people shape their hair into stars when they were younger, and I want to let you know that I see you, and that's exactly why all this matters. Because I'm a natural hair enthusiast, so I would have never wanted to sell fake hair.
Which is ridiculous because, like I said, keep saying before, her art style is not original. She keeps contradicting herself, saying that she's not trying to prevent people from shaping their hair in the way that they want. But with this lawsuit, this will prevent people from expressing themselves in the internet. This will prevent people from gaining access to accessible options to make their hair care more easy for them to deal with. Like, she keeps saying that her art is original, this, that, and the third. That's the most cat bullshit type thing that I've ever heard. It's just completely bullshit. And the fact that she's been harassing Solar for like about 2 years or so now. This isn't about protecting their artwork. This is actively trying to suppress Solar's business. This is trying to prevent other people from taking inspiration from her and copying her, and trying to prevent brand confusion, which is bullshit because, you know, like I keep saying, it's not an original style, and it's like a lot of contradictions. A lot of her things just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. Like, she's just she's putting a huge middle finger to all the people, not all the black-owned people who are selling these extensions. Like, what if they want to what if they're already selling afro puffs, but now they want to do other shapes? Well, that prevents them from providing more of these shapes to their clients, right? Like, well, she's right about why exactly all this matters, but the reason why she's going about it, like her logic doesn't, is the reason why we have to fight against people like her, against people in the space who want to bar expression, who want to bar accessibility to all these people, you know? Like, it matters a lot. And I really encourage that you people who are in these spaces, like, you know, to support Solar, right? I'm going to tag like Kina and Rebecca Sugar in this video. I need other people to notify them of what is happening, because these could affect their livelihoods, these could affect their future shows, right? I need you to tag the cosplayers who are making shapes in their hair for these characters. I need you to notify them, all right? I need you to notify the people who are in costume design, right? Or people who make wigs, okay? I need you to notify them. I need you to notify all the artists who incorporate these hair shapes into their own characters. I need you to let them know of the situation, and I need you to encourage them to speak out. All right, like I said before, because if this lawsuit goes in KwiinAva's favor, this is going to prevent a lot of creatives in the space to express themselves. This is going to prevent a lot of families to provide better options for their children, for their children's hair, and this is going to prevent people in the disabled communities from having more accessible options for their hair.
You don't even have to be so creative to think up something like this, nor do you have to be inspired by a creative. Any girl with afro hair with a little bit of whimsy and imagination can literally think of these hairstyles in the front of a mirror on a slow afternoon.
There is a real pattern of Soul attaching herself to me and building momentum off of me. She first started gaining traction because she was mimicking my star, heart, flower, and butterfly designs with her real hair. I then came out and said she was inspired by me. Not a bunch of lies, not a narrative, I just said she was inspired by me. I took that and made a video accusing me of all these things. I was bullying her, I harassed people, I'm gatekeeping. None of this is true. And then immediately after that, she drops these star puff hair extensions that don't mimic her natural hair, but mimic the same density and the same volume as my puffs.
I don't think that's true. This is not the case of the delusional women with type 4 hair leave out on a 1A V-part wig. This does look like a hair type and texture. You can argue about the density, but why does she have to be restricted to making smaller fake type 4 hair puffs just because her natural hair isn't big enough yet? Like, where did they do that at? How about the creators that posted theirs before 2022? Will they also be affected by this suit? How about pictures that have been floating on the internet for so long we don't even know the source or when it came to be? What about cartoons and animations with similar hairstyles? They copied you too?
Yeah, like, I will post, like, I'm gonna show a picture of my hair. Like, my hair in this picture is like ass. Like, I really don't, because like when I took this picture, I came home from work, and stuff like that, and then I kind of like had my hair up in my bonnet, so like my bonnet kind of like shaped my hair a little bit. It looks ass. I don't like it, but I'm gonna show you what my hair looks like when it doesn't have water in it, when it's dry, when it's not blow dried. I have medium density hair. This is the type of thing that would blend well with my hair. This isn't a unique thing. Hair density is not unique. It's specific to, like, hair density is not unique. There's a lot of people that have medium to high density hair. So this isn't even infringing on, like again, this is another reason why this isn't really infringing, because hair isn't fixed, you know? It's not unique, right? And the way that she keeps attaching herself, saying like, oh, KwiinAva is doing this and that, like, you can, like, I'm pretty sure it's obvious to everybody who has sense that this is a clear form of jealousy, right? KwiinAva has just been letting her low vibrations cloud her judgment, and is affecting that towards a lot of people within the space and outside the space. And I just really wanted to make this video to try and warn people of this, because this could affect everybody, right? I've seen floating around that people have been accusing her of using AI in her book. However, I'm going to consider this alleged. I do not want to accuse somebody of using AI unless there is hard, definitive proof that AI is being used, okay? Because there's issue within the art community, or people are just blindly accusing artists of using AI without proper evidence. And I do not want to accuse KwiinAva of using AI unless there's proof, okay? So if you suspect that KwiinAva is using AI in a book, or if you suspect any artist is using AI in their artwork, you need to compile evidence and you need to explain why you think these issues constitute that AI is being used. I will link 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 video in the description below as to how to determine whether or not a piece of artwork that you're seeing out on the internet or even out in stores are using AI. All right, because there's a lot of things that AI does that a beginner artist or just a regular artist who is human can make, you know, because a lot of times the mistakes that AI does can be caused by human error too. So I will link that video in the description below, and I want to see evidence. Like, I have a Twitter. You feel free to tag me on Twitter or to DM me on Twitter, like with the screenshots and your explanation as to why you think it's AI. Like, I'm not really good at determining whether or not a piece of work is AI too, so don't, you know, take my word as gospel. All right, but you can share it with other art experts on the space, like maybe 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 or Sam Does Arts or Muhammad, or like any other like any other artists in the space who might have a better job at detecting AI, or other people in the space who are better at detecting AI. But yeah, I am just completely really, like, I can't say this enough. I'm just completely furious at how the situation is playing out, and it's just ridiculous that KwiinAva has taken it upon herself to harass KwiinAva and her mother to continue harassing Solar, because, as I keep saying before, with the information that I provided, these hairstyles are not unique. The arguments that KwiinAva has presented, it doesn't hold up. Okay, it doesn't hold up at all. KwiinAva has been lying about Solar and is trying to push her out of this space. And I really think that we should be showing, because like the way that KwiinAva is going about this whole situation, she's abusing the copyright system in order to suppress this creator. And I think with certain comments have been saying that the way that she's going about it won't hold up in a court of law. And like with the examples that I mentioned before with Nintendo, like I don't think this will hold up in a court of law, but you never know, especially given the climate of our governments nowadays. Like, I'm losing faith in the justice system. I'm losing faith in these governments that we're under. So I mean, I can hold out hope, but it's not a guarantee. All we can do is just fight back. The fact that KwiinAva and her mother are just doing whatever they can to suppress this creator and trying to ruin her business and prevent other artists as well as other creatives in other spaces from using these hairstyles. Like, I really think that this is something that all of us as a community, as well as outside of these communities, we need parents fighting back against this. We need cosplayers and costume designers fighting back against this. We need artists fighting back against this. We need disabled people fighting back against this. We need everybody fighting back against this, because this will prevent a whole lot of people from shaping their hair in the way that they want to. And yeah, I'm going to tag the creators that I mentioned. I'll put video links. I'm going to tag these two creators that I mentioned before who use these star shapes in their shows and in their artwork. I will also recommend that you share these videos and this video to everybody that will be affected to this, or anybody who you think will be affected by this. But I think in this space we really need to stand together and stand in solidarity. This is what jealousy does. It tears people down. It's a nasty feeling if it if it's left unchecked. The only, like I said before, the only time where gatekeeping a hairstyle would be alright if it's part of a religious practice that is closed, or if it's part of a culture that would make sense in that culture, like I said, with the rank and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just my feelings on the whole situation. I'm just completely fuming with this and this whole thing. Please show your support for Solar and everything with this whole situation that's going on, and with my first impressions of KwiinAva. This isn't making me want to support her business. This isn't going to make me want to give her a dime. And this is just my feelings on the matter. If you still want to support KwiinAva after this whole situation blows over, that's your decision. But at least for me, because I'm not going to choose to financially support this creator in the future. I'm going to support Solar and her products and her business, because I believe that everybody should have an accessible way to express themselves. So yeah, please spread the word. Please show your support to Solar and all the parties that are affected by KwiinAva's aggression. And I will see you. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day / night / afternoon, wherever you are. And I will see you guys in the next video, which hopefully will be the 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 video if I don't get distracted again. Anyways, bye everybody.